Death for some creatures is not the final chapter, as they possess a fascinating secret, the ability to defy death. Forget the conventional laws of nature. These creatures, each with unique traits, showcase an intriguing ability to persist and even thrive beyond the confines of death. Today, we're exploring 20 remarkable creatures that always have a backup plan for life in the unlikely case they die. From wiggly reptiles to peculiar marine beings, these creatures showcase nature's astonishing capacity for resilience and adaptation. Number 20. Flatworms. The process of decapitation is typically deemed irreversible in human terms, where once a person's head is severed, recovery is impossible. However, it's a different story for certain worm species. In their world, losing a head is just a minor inconvenience as they generate new heads instead of the lost ones. This incredible ability is not some ancient relic, but a relatively recent development, as revealed by a recent study. It turns out that only 10 to 15 million years ago, worms acquired the skill of creating new heads and brains, a relatively short time frame in the grand scheme of the universe. The intriguing aspect is that not all ribbon worms possess this extraordinary superpower. Only 5 of the 35 species studied by scientists can regenerate new heads. This defies the expectation that closely related species should evolve in parallel. Meanwhile, in a fascinating turn of events, some close relatives of ribbon worms, known as flatworms, took a trip to the International Space Station. After removing a portion of its body, one of these space worms grew a new head. The result? A two-headed worm, one on each side, showcasing an incredibly uncommon type of regeneration previously documented by scientists. This is an exceptional case when a worm laughs at the one who wants to kill him. It's impossible. While the exact cause of this phenomenon remains unknown, various theories have been proposed. Some suggest it could be linked to fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field, changes in gravity, or the stress the worm experienced during takeoff and landing on the International Space Station. Essentially, factors associated with spaceflight. Interestingly, when these space worms returned to Earth, they differed from their Earthworm counterparts. Unexpectedly, releasing these worms into space was not just a scientific experiment to observe the impact of the peculiar surroundings on them. It led to unforeseen discoveries, adding layers of fascination to the study. And if the notion of a creature developing a second head already boggles the mind, brace yourself for even more captivating revelations. Number 19. Snakes. When a snake's head is severed, it's a widely held belief that the body will inevitably succumb to death. This notion is often metaphorically employed to convey the collapse of evil organizations or groups, suggesting that, without a leader, the members will scatter like rats. However, the reality is quite different from this common perception. Snakes, renowned for their lethal nature, pose a unique challenge when it comes to fatal injuries, such as beheading. Numerous online videos depict snakes with severed heads, their bodies exhibiting vigorous movements before gradually succumbing. Sometimes, even after being detached, the snake's head bites the person responsible for the beheading and exhibits unusual reactions. But how does this happen? The composition of a snake differs significantly from that of other animals, especially those with warm blood. Due to their lower oxygen requirements for survival, the cells in a snake's skull do not immediately perish. Instead, they retain a significant amount of life. In simpler terms, a snake with its head removed remains alive and retains the capacity to bite, creating a scenario where one might regret not leaving it undisturbed. Astonishingly, even seasoned survival experts featured on networks like the Discovery Channel have fallen victim to such incidents. Number 18. The Immortal Jellyfish. The Immortal Jellyfish is a mystical creature that has earned its captivating nickname due to its extraordinary ability to defy the conventional laws of life and death. Unlike most living beings, the Immortal Jellyfish can only meet its demise through physical destruction, such as becoming a predator's meal, progressing to a point where regeneration is impossible. However, if not entirely obliterated, the jellyfish demonstrates an astonishing resilience. It springs into action when wounded to a certain extent, or when it senses the looming threat of death, perhaps from factors like famine. What sets this jellyfish apart is its unique mechanism for survival. a process akin to turning back the hands of time to an infantile state. In a fascinating display, it retreats to a previous stage of existence, reliving its life cycle. Imagine the surreal scenario of reverting to your adolescent self just before the end of your days, retaining all your knowledge yet inhabiting a rejuvenated body. Throughout its existence, this enigmatic jellyfish cyclically undergoes this extraordinary rejuvenation. The mystery deepens as scientists grapple with the elusive knowledge of how this species accomplishes such a feat, and what evolutionary factors led to this extraordinary development. Undoubtedly, the immortal jellyfish has become a focal point of scientific attention. Experts are investing considerable effort in unraveling the secrets within its biological makeup, driven by the genuine belief that this species may hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of eternal life. Number 17. Cockroaches. Cockroaches, the relentless foes of many households, are a formidable challenge due to their uncanny ability to survive various attempts at extermination. Unlike common pests such as ants, spiders, or rodents, cockroaches seem impervious to being stepped on, swatted with a newspaper, or even drowned. Cockroaches also appear to possess a unique ability to endure, withstanding forces as extreme as the impact of a nuclear bomb. The question arises, why are these creatures so notoriously difficult to eliminate? The answer lies, ironically, in their biology. Cockroaches boast incredibly robust and flexible exoskeletons, rendering them nearly invulnerable to squashing. Their adaptability to contort their bodies into small spaces further contributes to their survival. From a fascinating perspective, cockroaches can endure forces up to 900 times greater than their body weight. But what about removing their heads? Surprisingly, even decapitation doesn't deter these resilient pests. Breathing through tiny holes in their bodies instead of their mouths, cockroaches can withstand head-on severance, although their demise will eventually result from thirst. As for the intriguing reference to nuclear bombs, it's not a joke. Due to their composition primarily consisting of muscle and tissue, cockroaches can endure nuclear radiation, surviving the aftermath of a scorching blast. Astonishingly, eradicating a single roach would necessitate a dose significantly higher than what would be fatal to a human. Number 16. Octopus. Let's dive into the intriguing world of octopuses and their remarkable tentacles. While it might seem like an octopus plays dead occasionally, rest assured, it's unequivocally deceased when it ends. However, there's a fascinating twist when it comes to its tentacles. Should an octopus lose one, it has the astonishing ability to regenerate it. What's even more surprising is that the detached tentacle continues to exhibit movement, thanks to the intricate nervous system embedded within it. These tentacles can respond to stimuli even when disconnected from the main brain, persisting in their movements even after the octopus has passed away. This phenomenon sheds light on the persistence of movement in cooked octopus dishes, where the arms can still display a semblance of life. Consuming them requires caution, especially when dealing with live octopuses, as their arms can potentially threaten your airway, making it a risky endeavor. Despite this, the octopus, recognizing the superiority of its tentacles, might employ them as weapons against adversaries, showcasing the sophistication of these extraordinary limbs. Number 15. Tardigrade. The microscopic world introduces us to a remarkable species known as the water bear, or scientifically, the tardigrade. Despite its misleadingly cute nickname, the tardigrade is far from a conventional pet. First discovered in 1773, this 8-legged, segmented microanimal has proven to be an extraordinary survivor, existing in various environments across the Earth's biosphere, from the Antarctic and tropical rainforests to the deep sea and mountain summits. These minuscule critters from the ocean's depths exhibit unparalleled resilience, with the ability to withstand temperatures ranging from a scorching 150 degrees Celsius to a freezing -20 degrees for decades. But their survival skills don't stop there. Tardigrades can endure radiation from space and thermal burns from volcanic eruptions at the ocean's bottom. Studies have consistently showcased their status as among the most robust creatures on the planet, capable of thriving in harsh conditions that would spell doom for most other animals. The tardigrade's extraordinary endurance extends to potential threats, including high pressure, extreme temperatures, radiation exposure, dehydration, and malnutrition. Even when subjected to dehydration, a state known as their dormant phase, these remarkable microanimals can exist as shriveled-up husks for years. Once rehydrated, they miraculously spring back to life as if untouched by the passage of time. These tiny wonders demand a Herculean effort to be brought down by the challenges that would readily conquer most other living beings. Number 14. Salamanders. While salamanders may not possess the power of resurrection, their extraordinary ability to regenerate lost limbs has become a captivating subject of interest. Much like the octopus discussed earlier, salamanders boast an impressive regenerative capacity that has intrigued scientists for nearly a century. The mechanism involves using a unique skin type to seal wounds, followed by tissue regeneration to grow a new body part. This remarkable trait, developed over millions of years of evolution, is particularly fascinating because the newly grown limb is just as functional as the one lost. Certain species, such as the axolotl, take regeneration to the next level by initiating the process almost immediately. In just a few hours, the lost limb begins to grow back, and although not at a fast speed, the pace is still commendable. This prompts the intriguing question: can humans achieve such regeneration? Many researchers are exploring limb regeneration for its potential applications. If successful and replicable in other creatures, the possibilities could be limitless. Imagine a future where a lifelong infirmity or the loss of a limb due to an accident doesn't mean a permanent reliance on prosthetics. With successful scientific endeavors, individuals might have the opportunity to regrow lost limbs over a set period, albeit with some pain and unsettling moments. Despite potential discomfort, the benefits for those suffering from such conditions are immense. This is why scientists diligently study organisms like salamanders, hoping to unlock the secrets of limb regeneration and apply this knowledge to improve human lives. Number 13. Fruit flies. Flies are ever-present nuisances in our attempts to savor life's moments. Picture this: you're engrossed in a captivating book, and these relentless kamikaze flies seem determined to disrupt your peace. An unfortunate truth, however, is that fruit flies, those tiny airborne acrobats, seem to live almost indefinitely. They have an uncanny ability to detect your approach, making swatting them arduous. Hovering in the air, they effortlessly maneuver, evading capture with a skillful spin. Remarkably resilient, they endure freezing temperatures and even the intense heat of a microwave, much like their fellow airborne counterparts. Now let's zoom in on a specific scenario, focusing on the intriguing case of the female fruit fly. Surprisingly, if a fruit fly's head is accidentally severed, it survives and embarks on an unexpected endeavor, singing like a male. The fruit fly operates on a predominantly unisex system, with only a few nodes designated as male or female. Consequently, the headless, singing female continues to soar through the air, emitting a male mating song. This revelation has led researchers to reevaluate the dynamics between fruit fly males and females, suggesting a closer connection than previously assumed. In an astonishing twist, fruit flies have proven more resilient to nuclear radiation than cockroaches, as demonstrated in an episode of Mythbusters. This further underscores their seemingly invincible nature, leaving us in awe of their remarkable endurance. Number 12. Wood frog. Ever wondered what it feels like to be truly cold? Shivering, numbness, the desperate need for warmth? Well, for wood frogs, freezing solid is just a temporary inconvenience. These remarkable creatures survive the cold and embrace it as part of their natural existence. In regions where temperatures plummet significantly, wood frogs undergo a fascinating process to endure freezing conditions. When ice forms on their skin, their liver kicks into action, converting stored sugars into glucose. This glucose is then secreted and transported through the bloodstream, preventing the frog's cells from shrinking and drying up. As the wood frog freezes, its heart circulates protective glucose throughout its body. Eventually, the heart and all other organs slow down and stop. At this point, by all accounts, the frog should be dead. Yet it defies expectations and remains alive. The only real threats to its survival are extremely low temperatures or external factors that could cause harm while frozen. When warmer weather returns, the wood frog initiates a remarkable reboot. It systematically revives each organ, allowing it to resume normal activities as if the freezing ordeal never happened. This ability to kill itself temporarily to survive later on seems almost superhuman. Scientists, recognizing its potential, are actively studying wood frogs to replicate this extraordinary superpower. Number 11. Mike the Chicken. Now let's explore a rather unusual chapter of stories where not all tales involve creatures navigating the realm of death in conventional ways. Brace yourself, for the narrative takes a rather unexpected turn with the peculiar case of Mike the Chicken. It's worth noting that some of the accounts may border on the eerie, as illustrated by Mike's extraordinary saga. So what sets Mike apart from the rest? Well, picture this. Despite the seemingly bizarre circumstances of having its head cleanly sliced off, this chicken defied all odds and lived for a remarkable 18 months. Yes, you read that correctly. To provide a visual, imagine a chicken, headless but alive. The tale unfolds with a certain farmer, Lloyd Olson, and his spouse, Clara, engaged in what they whimsically referred to as trimming the herd, a process involving beheading several chickens. Clara dealt with the aftermath in this rather unconventional farm choreography, while Lloyd skillfully wielded the hatchet. However, the unexpected happened when they found one chicken still displaying vigorous movements even after its head had been severed. This wasn't the typical twitching associated with imminent demise. It involved routine activities like running and kicking. Lloyd, quick on his feet, decided to house the remarkable bird in an old apple box on the farm's screened-in porch for the night. When he checked on it the next morning, to his astonishment, the chicken survived and thrived. Even his great-grandson attested to the uniqueness of this chicken's background and family lore. The mystery of how the chicken managed to defy its inevitable demise remains unsolved. Over the next 18 months, Lloyd and his extraordinary companion traversed the entire coast, accumulating a substantial fortune. This unexpected windfall allowed him to upgrade the family farm and explore regions otherwise beyond reach. Number 10. Turtles. Turtles, known as some of the world's most resilient creatures, possess fascinating characteristics that set them apart in the animal kingdom. Rather than focusing solely on their ability to move after death, which is intriguing, their longevity and unique anatomy contribute to their captivating nature. Certain turtles and tortoises can outlive humans thanks to their robust shells, which serve as formidable protection against predators. Their leisurely pace adds an element of mystery to their behavior, making it challenging to discern whether they are alive or not, even after passing away. The secret lies in the turtle's distinctive anatomy, a blend of factors like a high ion concentration, a slow metabolic rate, and an ever-persistent heartbeat without brain inputs. It's an odd yet fascinating phenomenon, reminiscent of a turtle persisting in existence beyond necessity. While turtles are renowned for leading sedentary lives that may span centuries, the wild population faces challenges due to deforestation and the encroachment of concrete jungles. Ensuring a turtle is truly deceased becomes crucial, given their unique behavior known as brumation, where they appear lifeless but are in fact very much alive. Methods like gently poking or pinching, observing reactions or lack thereof, or waiting for breakdowns can help confirm their status. Additionally, conditions met for hibernation or brumation can lead to their awakening. Number 9. Lungfish. One common misconception is that fish cannot breathe when submerged in water. While that statement is generally accurate, it's not the whole story. Enter the lungfish, the exception to the rule, as its name cleverly suggests. This unique fish possesses an extraordinary ability to extract oxygen directly from the air, akin to terrestrial creatures, thanks to its highly advanced respiratory system. Thriving in fresh water, these lungfish can endure for months, sometimes years, without access to water while residing on land. Intriguingly, studies indicate that certain lungfish species gradually lose their reliance on gills as they approach adulthood, adapting to breathing air. After all, who needs gills when you can simply inhale that slightly contaminated but oh so delicious air? Well, maybe not the contaminated part. The paradox lies in the fact that despite being fish, these creatures cannot live their entire lives submerged underwater. Surprisingly, they would drown if they didn't regularly surface to breathe. So, while these fish cannot survive solely in water, they are equally incapable of surviving without it. Now, that's irony for you. Number 8. Wolf eel. Like its animal kingdom counterparts, the wolf eel faces decapitation as a rather inconvenient event. However, it refuses to let the absence of a head hinder its abilities. In fact, without a head, it remains just as deadly. Despite its misleading name, the wolf eel is not an eel but a wolfish. Although neither venomous nor poisonous, this creature stands out as a formidable and dangerous entity. Its notorious tendency to bite persists even after its demise and decapitation. Post-mortem muscular spasms are visible in a severed wolf eel, and the sight is undeniably eerie. For those foolhardy enough to venture into a dead fish's mouth, a surprising revelation awaits. It remains eager to bite. While the wolf eel does pose risks, experts attribute the source of its bite to touch receptors, triggering an automatic closure of its jaws through a central pattern generator. The survival of the wolf eel, amidst ongoing threats from humans and predators seeking to reduce their population, raises a compelling question. Why aren't they extinct by now? The answer is partly in conservation efforts that have been crucial in preserving their numbers. Additionally, their prolific reproductive capabilities contribute to their resilience. A lone female wolf eel can lay 10,000 eggs during mating season. While many fall prey to predators, the survival of even a few individuals can sustain entire communities. As we witness the current stability of the wolf eel population, we hope these conservation efforts will continue to safeguard their future. Number 7. Bark scorpion. Great news for those residing in freezing or scorching locales. Encountering a bark scorpion is highly unlikely. While wearing shoes is generally advisable, especially considering the mysteries that might lurk on the floor, it becomes particularly crucial in moderate or average climates. The bark scorpion favors temperatures between 11 and 40 degrees Celsius, or 52 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet they've demonstrated resilience in colder and hotter extremes, such as freezing temperatures and scorching deserts. But let's not delve into that now. The real curiosity lies in understanding how these creatures deliver a sting posthumously. Unfortunately, it's a fascinating question, and some individuals have discovered the answer the hard way. When a black scorpion meets its demise, its tail extends straight behind its body. Stepping on it results in an abrupt, sharp shock. The departed scorpion, devoid of remorse, will sting you without a second thought. After all, it's no longer among the living. Who's to say if scorpions ponder their actions in the afterlife? Number 6. Ocean quahog. When exploring the intriguing realm of ocean life, the ocean quahog is an edible clam species native to the northern Atlantic Ocean. This remarkable creature, deemed a delicacy in many regions, boasts an unexpectedly extended lifespan that has astounded scientists. In a groundbreaking study in Iceland, researchers unearthed a specimen that defied expectations by clocking in at a staggering 507 years old. Its incredible longevity lies in its unique ability to resist oxidative stress. While most animals succumb to the damaging effects of oxygen molecules reacting with cell membranes, the ocean quahog's cellular structures exhibit unparalleled resilience, remaining virtually unaffected. The resilience of this ocean-dwelling marvel not only challenges our understanding of marine life, but also opens new avenues for scientific exploration into the secrets of longevity. Now it's time for our subscribers' pick of the day. Hey, thrill seekers! Take a look at the creepy creature in this image. Say hello to the Sicilian, making snakes look like soft toys. With no arms or legs, it's a head-scratcher, literally. Which end is up? And eyes? Who needs them? The Sicilians have these tiny eyes that only know light from dark. It's the James Bond of the animal kingdom, incognito in plain sight. But hold on, it's got more tricks. It has 2 tiny tentacles on its face, making it the ultimate food detector and navigation guru. No limbs, no problem. This digging maestro boasts a skull and muscles that rival a car engine's piston. It's the amphibian bulldozer, minus the noise. But here's the kicker. It's not out to get us. Those needle-like teeth are just for munching on earthworms and insects. It's a walking feast for the eyes. So, viewers, what's your take on this limbless wonder? Drop your comments below and let the Sicilian discussion kick off. Number 5. Hydra. At just around 30 millimeters when stretched out, the microscopic marvels known as Hydra may seem diminutive, but their resilience is nothing short of remarkable. One fascinating example is the green Hydra, a creature intricately intertwined with algae, enabling it to survive and thrive. Even when dehydrated and facing an oxygen-deprived environment, this unique organism prevails, thanks to the oxygen supplied by the algae within its structure. Moreover, the Hydra possesses an extraordinary genetic capability, one that's both rare and somewhat scary. Should you happen to sever a head or foot, fear not. At the same spot on its body, a new head and foot will regenerate. This process involves the creation of entirely new bodily parts through a genetic fusion of separated single cells and fragments of tissue, showcasing the Hydra's astonishing ability to rejuvenate itself. Number 4. Squids. Given the common phrase, fish out of water, it's a curious twist in the narrative, typically implying that aquatic creatures would face imminent demise when removed from their natural habitat. However, squids defy this expectation. Surprisingly, certain squid species willingly venture onto land and showcase a unique adaptation. They can endure for up to 30 minutes without access to water. The catch, however, is that they must ensure a swift return to the aquatic environment before the risk of dehydration sets in. It's undeniably a daring move, leaving us questioning why squids find themselves in this intriguing lineup in the first place. Number 3. Bees. Many people harbor a dislike for bees or find them bothersome. But let's shift our perspective for a moment. They're not wasps. For that, we should be genuinely thankful. It's widely known that bees sting only when absolutely necessary. While a sting may occur if the hive is perceived as being in danger, such instances are relatively rare, leading to the inevitable demise of the bee. However, there's an intriguing twist to the story. Contrary to popular belief, a bee doesn't meet its end immediately after delivering a sting. There's a window of time before the sting and the eventual demise. Once a bee stings, it can't retract its stinger, resulting in the stinger and digestive tube being torn from its body upon pulling away. The bee meets its end due to a ruptured muscle or nerve. Yet, even after you've swatted the bee away, the stinger's nerve cells continue to inject venom into your wound. This phenomenon persists even if the bee has passed away. It's a testament to their work ethic, even in death. That we must acknowledge. Number 2. Praying mantis. The praying mantis stands out as one of the most intriguing species, particularly considering the unique challenges its male members face. Unlike certain animal species where males may be tasked with giving birth or supporting the family, the praying mantis takes an unexpected turn. Males are consumed during mating. It's a bizarre phenomenon. It does lead to their demise, yet, in a peculiar twist, they persist. While the praying mantis shares the inherent need for mating seen in many other species, the male becomes a sacrificial meal, providing the female with the energy required to nurture fertilized eggs. However, sometimes, the female's hunger drives her to consume the male's skull halfway through the process. Astonishingly, the male is unfazed by this unexpected turn of events. Amidst the oddity, one can't help but ponder the priorities during one's last moments on Earth. In the grand scheme of things, perhaps there are worse ways to spend those moments. This peculiar behavior is a quintessential example of the unexpected twists in the natural world. While we may find it strange, if praying mantises could voice their thoughts, they might be more bewildered by our lack of mid-mating lethality. Number 1. Lobsters. Lobsters are a fascinating marine species. While common knowledge encompasses aspects of their social habits, like their one-partner mating policy and entrepreneurial endeavors that led to the establishment of the iconic Red Lobster restaurant, there's an aspect of lobsters that remains lesser known: their seemingly eternal youthfulness. In a world where animals are busy regenerating limbs and forming new body parts, lobsters take a unique approach by focusing on a universal concern: aging. Growing older is a universal experience that nobody particularly relishes. However, lobsters have managed to defy what many assumed was an unavoidable reality. At the heart of their age-defying secret lies an enzyme called telomerase. This element sets them apart from most other species, which cannot continuously replicate and split their cells. This enzyme enables lobsters to produce an ever-increasing protective end cap on their chromosomes, preventing cells from replication and the aging process common to most animals. Thanks to this biological phenomenon, lobsters can live remarkably long lives. Nevertheless, there's a caveat to their longevity. Like a bodybuilder outgrowing their clothes due to steroid use, lobsters eventually find themselves too large for their exoskeleton. In response, they must relinquish their current shell and search for a new exoskeleton, as the existing one cannot be altered or enlarged. Interestingly, the primary cause of mortality among lobsters is not age-related, but stems from the exhaustion incurred by their constant quest for fresh exoskeletons. It's a fascinating glimpse into the complexities of marine life, with lobsters offering a unique perspective on longevity and adaptation, minus the dinner table discussion, of course. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.